Hello and welcome to our talk this morning. We have Dr. Todd Whitaker with us, the author of What Great Teachers Do Differently. And Polk and Blalack Middle Schools have joined together for an awesome book study this summer that's going to take us throughout this 2021 school year. And we are so thankful to have Dr. Whitaker with us here this morning to add some insights and comments and encouragement for the year. Dr. Whitaker.
Well, excellent. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. I know we've had some crazy times, and I know right now on the day I'm doing this, we feel like Texas up here in terms of how warm it is. I had mentioned that I looked outside the window and I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking. So I hope you all are doing okay. It's nice to connect on Zoom. One thing I need to remind you, though, is the camera adds 10 pounds, and I've got like 9 cameras on me. So if you could do the math, that would be very helpful related to that. And one other thing, I'm just like you. I am business on top, but party on the bottom. So anyhow, this is great to connect. I love middle school. I'm a diehard middle schooler. Well, I always say, what's the definition of a 6th grader? It's a kid that runs everywhere they go, and when they get there, they hit somebody. What's the definition of a 7th grader? It's a kid that runs everywhere they go, and when they get there, they grab somebody. And what's the different definition of an 8th grader? That's a kid that's way too cool to run. Well, I love middle school because my maturity is stuck in middle school, and so it's a real honor for me to have a chance to work with you all. As you all know, we've had a wild and wacky 2020. In March, we went virtual overnight. You know what made that so hard? It's really interesting. You know what made that so hard? What made it so hard was we didn't have a dress rehearsal. We just had opening night. And that really makes it hard. And we don't have many things like that. Well, now that I know we've started back in the fall, and I believe you all started virtual, and then there's a potential transition here on September 8th, now we've had lots of dress rehearsals. So we have a chance to really make sure that this is exactly what it is we want it to be and meet the needs of the students, whether they're in person or not. And one of the things, though, that I think is interesting, when we went virtual overnight, I got a question for you. How many of y'all could name 3 teachers in your school you knew were going to figure it out? You just knew we're going to figure it out. And how many of you could name 3 teachers in your school that you knew were never going to figure it out? And what's interesting is when we come back in person, those same 3 people that figured out the virtual, you knew they were going to be highly successful in person. And the other people that didn't probably are still going to struggle in person. Because there's something about us that makes us different. And it's not intelligence, it's not knowledge of technology. What it really is our dedication, our care, and our concern for our students. And us realizing that what we do really matters, really makes a difference. See, you know what would really be hard? Our jobs are hard, but you know what would really be hard? Having a job that doesn't matter. That'd be no fun at all. Having a job that isn't essential, that nobody cares about, and so many jobs are like that. And I'm not putting them down because I'm glad there's other people doing them. Because then it leaves the important job for people like yourselves. Because one of the things we know, and as you've read the book, and the book's me talking, I always say if there's a 3-syllable word in the book, an editor put that in there. One of the things to realize is it is always going to be people, and it is never going to be programs. It's never going to be programs. Programs are never the problem. Programs are never the solution. People are always the problem. People are always going to be the solution. And one thing that I know you know, and it's true whether you're in person or virtual or hybrid or whatever the world holds for us, one of the things is this. It's just that remembering that we are the filter. We're the filter for what comes out of our mouth, and we're the filter for what doesn't. And how important it is that we do that. When you think about that, when people say, how's your day going? You have a choice. You have a choice. And you know what you say? You say, I'm doing great. And you say that to the students. And you know why? Because they need to hear that. They need to hear that from you. Always remember, if a great teacher is in a bad mood, and it happens to all of us, the only person in the school and in the class that knows it is that teacher. They protect it from the rest of the students. You know what's amazing about a great teacher? If a great teacher comes in on Monday and says to the class, I need to apologize on Friday. I seemed a little short. I wasn't feeling well. Do you know what the kids say? They don't say it's okay. Not if it's a great teacher. You know what they say? I don't even know what you're talking about. And you want to be that person. And the challenge is, understand this, if a less effective teacher, if a negative teacher's in a bad mood, the whole school knows it. And not even because you notice it, it's because they announce it, they use it as a weapon. And you all make such a difference. And that experience is so critical for the students. And it really doesn't matter if they're remote or not. One of the things that's funny, I've worked a long, long time with different schools. And one of the things that happened this spring, let's pretend you had a class with 25 kids and all of a sudden you went virtual overnight and you'd like to have 25 students and you have 11. Do you know what your first goal is? Make sure it doesn't go to 10. And you know what's going to keep it from going to 10? That teacher and how you treat those 11 kids. See, I don't talk to those 11 kids about the 14 that aren't there. I talk to those 11 kids like they're the most important people in the world, because I want to make sure it never goes to 10. The other thing is, then you have 11 salespeople. You have 11 people that interact with their friends and go, this class is great. I'm really enjoying the science class or math class or language arts class or whatever it is. And the other thing, and this is really a tough one, the other thing is relationships are essential, but this isn't a dinner party. See, a dinner party, relationships can be everything. I can glad hand for 90 minutes. You know, I think I'm funny and I'm really good at dinner parties as long as the party ends at some point because my act gets old. But do you know when we teach, we also have to engage students in learning. We also have to do it on a consistent level. You know, think about this. If you've ever had a teacher, yourself as a student, or when you're a teacher in your school, that every day has engaging lessons and does it consistently, they have relationships with students. It's a learning relationship. So we need to do that interpersonally, but we need to do that in terms of engagement, in terms of what we do. And that is so important. It's just an essential thing. I know that I believe August 17th was the first day of school, a fresh start, a new beginning, or as my mom used to call it, Mother's Day. And I know that on September 8th, when the kids come, at least half the kids that are going to be in person, their moms are really going to be calling it Mother's Day. But you know, one of the things that's neat about a new school year, you start the year undefeated. It doesn't matter what we did last year, it matters what we did this year. One of the best teachers I've ever known was named Jean Rackers, and she taught 5th grade for 43 years. And she may have been the most positive, successful teacher I know. And I remember asking her one time on her 43rd year, I go, Jean, how on earth can you be so enthusiastic after teaching 5th graders for 43 years? She said, it's my 43rd year of teaching 5th graders, but it's their first year of being a 5th grader. And I know all over both of your schools, Polk and Blalack, I know that when the students connect with you virtually or when the students connect with you in person, they're absolutely blessed. You want to know why? Because you're going to be there to greet them. I want to thank you for choosing education. I want to thank you for reading the book, and I hope we can connect on Twitter. I want to thank you for making a difference, and I want to thank you for choosing to matter. You know, the best thing about teaching is it matters. You know the hardest thing about teaching? It matters every day. That's why I'm so glad you are the ones that are leading the charge in your schools. Hope the book study makes sense. Have a wonderful year, and thanks for choosing to matter.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Whitaker, for those encouraging words. It make me want to go run this race and tackle this new world that we're entering in. So we truly appreciate you for giving us your time today, and we hope to continue to connect with you. Wow, once again, very encouraging words, and it makes me excited and to get this year started and for our students and develop those relationships. So we truly appreciate it.
It was an honor for me, truly an honor.
Thank you. Thank you very much.